Hello gamers, welcome to another edition of Tonight on Mage Hammer's Game Table, where tonight I'm continuing my series featuring my own Delves and Dangers role-playing game. Just a note, this is a privately printed copy. I don't own the rights to the art in here, but I just had this privately printed and there's no print version for sale. You can download it as a PDF at itch.io. The link in the description below is a pay what you want. But if you want to get it into a hardcover form or softcover form, you'll have to print it out on a private service like lulu.com or go to your local place to do. Friend of the channel, Tabletop Wanderer, printed his out, hid the PDF from itch.io out into hardcover form, and it looks great. So if you like to do that, by all means do so, but I cannot sell this with the art in it because I don't own the art. It's just strictly for private use. Anyway, that little caveat out of the way. This series right now, I have randomly determined the profession and kindred of my party. I have randomly determined the dungeon and the quest for the dungeon using Axebane's deck of many dungeons. For my money, one of the best solo RPG accessories you can buy. And they, the heroes, have made their way down to a second level of a delve, and they are looking for the entrance to the elusive delve of Nura Wilkinson, a former monk who has a map to the kingdom of the Fae in a mosaic on the floor of her delve. Well, last episode, they discovered a pool, and they discovered through trial and error that that pool was actually a gate that led to what they're hoping and probably is the delve of Nura Wilkinson. So at the end of last episode, they jumped through the pool. Now we shall see where they ended up. So instead of using a starting card from the deck of many dungeons, I'm just going to take off the top of the deck of the room, and so it ends up being hallway anyway. All right, so there you go. They are in a hallway, and I'll have them right at the crossroads there. And they are, in case you're coming in here a little late, but I suggest you go back and watch all the videos, but Medicius, the Minotaur warrior. I ended up getting a mini that better fit his description. I found it on eBay. It is really cool miniature. I really like it and fits him to a T. Clestor Darkstar, Elf Thief. Then we have Clandor Stonefingers, Dwarf Thief as well, and he's wielding a specialized battle axe. And then we have Nettles Pureclaw, and she is a Fellcat Druid, and we're pretending that that sword in her hand is actually a spear. And they are now standing at the middle of that crossroads, and here we go. So they look both ways. Medicius has a lantern hanging from his hand that is holding his shield, and so they look to the left, and there's a hallway. Sure, why not? And they look to their right, and the hallway jogs straight up, and then they look straight ahead, and there is also more passage. So quite a bit of ways to go here for them. And since they're here, I'm going to roll to see what smell they smell. Axebane's deck of many dungeons has things like smells. They smell burnt wood. Interesting. I wonder why. I don't even know why. All right. Side entrances for this level of the dungeon are going to be considered dead ends and not actual side entrances. So here we go. So they have to decide what direction they're going to go, and what they have done in the past is Nettles Pureclaw has taken out one of her favorite things in the world, dice, and rolled it. So 1, 2, they go left, 3, 4, they go straight, 5, 6, they go right. And it looks like they're going right. So Medicius leads with his lantern and his, armor and stuff. And then the thieves in between, and then Nettles in the back. So they go, they turn, they look up this corner, and apparently it ends in double doors. All right, so remember, side entrances at this level are considered to be dead ends. So as they approach the doors, I'm going to see there is a monster indicated by X Payne's Deck of Many Dungeons here and beyond these double doors. So I'm going to roll randomly on my Delves and Dangers and counter tables and see red is the 10s and see what creature is beyond that door. Okay, that'll be fun. May or may not have any noise. So, Clestor's like, let me listen at this door. And there's no monster indicated here. He listens to the door. It appears to be open, so he doesn't need to unlock it. He opens it, and apparently there's a bed and some crates, but it's very dusty, as if nothing has been there for a very long time. So then he's going to listen at the door there. Now, the things that are on the other side that I rolled are generally very quiet. But I'm going to make it. He's gonna listen, and elves get their mind, and I give thieves proficiency for listening, and he also gets a perception roll for being elf. But other than that, I'm not giving him his thief ability. But these things are very quiet, so I'm going to say it's a DL6 that they happen to be maybe making some kind of noise that he could hear, which would be very difficult for him to roll, and he does not. So he hears nothing. There's nothing on the other side of this door. I'm Odysseus. Well, if there's nothing, then why do I have to go first? I think we all know the answer to that. So he enters into the room, and let's set that up. It's a longish room. It's a longish room. Goes this way. I guess that's good enough. And I'm gonna put some pillars here. Axbane's Deck of Many Dungeons loves pillars. So they're going to appear a lot in the dungeon delves I do, because I use Axbane's Deck of Many Dungeons to create those dungeons. So it's a lot of fun. So there you are. And then there's some, looks like there's some kind of body on the floor here, and a broken weapon here. And the creatures are behind that pillar, according to Axbane's Deck of Many Dungeons. So they enter into the double door. I just had my double door, which is right smack dab in the middle. And it is not locked. So Odysseus opens the doors and steps in. He kind of moves to the right, Clestor to the left, and Clandor and Nettles straight up the middle. Oh, what do we have here? I don't know. I don't sense anything. Yeah, let's see what that is on the floor over there. I'll check it out. So Clandor runs over, and he's gonna search that area. I'll do a 1 in 6 chance there's actually something in there. Nope. So he searches. I don't need to roll since I know there's nothing there. Normally, if this were, a game master and so forth, I would roll and then find nothing. But it's a pile of bones. I don't know about this one. I don't know about that. That sounds a bit mysterious, dwarf. I agree, elf. And so they fan out around the room, kind of looking around, because they're not sure whether they're in Nura's delve or not, but they know they're somewhere different. And so they're looking for this map. Doesn't look like any kind of map. And so as he goes over there, I'm going to see if he's going to be surprised by the creatures that are in here. Okay, so they have that. I'm going to go more on his perception. So Clandor has 2 mind. I'll give him 1 for being a thief. But other than that, and these things are very, very quiet, so it's a DL4. And he does not get it. And just as he turns the pillar, they drop from the ceiling either side of him, and they attack with a surprise round. All right, so I organized my stuff before we played, so this should not take that long. Ooh, bumped my game table. Hate when that happens. All right, so one here, and one here. Well, they don't even make that thumping sound. That was just for effect. They actually are very quiet. And they attack. He lets out a yell as the creatures attack him. Or maybe, you know what? I'm going to take that back. They're not going to attack him. They're going to try something else. But he will be surprised by it the same. All right, so they are attacking him. All right, they have 6 dice with this attack. Wow, keep rolling. All right, so that's 6 successes. His armor is just 1 because he is wearing leather armor, so that it does not affect his thieving abilities. And so he suddenly a web comes down, wraps around him, and goes around his head, and he gets pulled upwards to the ceiling. Because he was surprised, I'm not going to give him a chance to get out of that. Now what I'm going to do is see if Klestor saw it happen. Let's say they're I'll say DL3. He did not see it happen. Nettles, she gets a +1 perception bonus as well because she is a fell cat. 3 for mind, and 1 for being, or for her kindred. DL3. Oh. She does not notice. And then Medicius has a 2 mind. And that's it. He has to get a 3. And he does not. So they don't even notice that he's gone yet. So, as they're searching around, suddenly, Klestor is like, but what that also means is that I'm going to have a round go by, and the creature is going to bite Clandor when he gets up there. For their bite, it's only 4 dice, but I'm going to give him an additional 2 since he's in his web. And that is, ouch. So that is 6 successes, so that's 5 damage, which is yikes. So Clandor takes 5 damage, and he has to make a DL3 or DL2 strength resistance roll. He has 3 dice for his strength resistance, and he's rolled 2 successes on this. And he does. So he does not take any additional poison damage, but that hurts. So now, on this second round, I'm going to have them notice. But I'm also going to have this thing make a crawl across the ceiling, because they can walk on walls. And I guess he's got to be stealthy. So I'm going to give him 5 dice. No, I'll make that the DL. DL his agility. So Medicius doesn't notice. But she does. And we'll see if Klestor does for fun as well. Both of them at the same time look to the ceiling and go, "What is that?" And just as he does, this one launches its web at Klestor. But I'm going to roll for initiative now since they're aware of them to see who can do it. Now, Clandor also roll initiative for Clandor as well. All right, so easily. Clandor's going before the creatures. So is Medicius. Clandor. So is Klestor. But Nettles is after. All right. So, I will have Clandor take a swipe at his webbing with his dagger. So, He whips it out and takes a swing with that. That's going to be 3, 4, 5. To cut the web, I'll say he needs a DL3. And he gets only 2, but he does have an exploding die, and that is enough that he is able to cut the web, and he drops to the ground. Now, he's at least 10 feet up, so he's going to drop to the ground, and he's going to take a D6 worth of damage. Oh, man, he must have hurt himself when he hit. He is in deep trouble. Ouch. Oh. So that was his action. I'm going to have him lay prone. Oh, gosh, that hurts. Foul beasts. And then that was him. No, that was him. Now we're going to do Medicius. It's like, what is this? Abominations. And so he has a short bow. He doesn't have time to get that out. So he is going to run over. Are you okay, my friend? And he's going to administer his healing stone on Clandor, because he's obviously in pain. Oh my gosh, so he only heals two stamina, but still used it. So he's up a little bit more, but not quite enough. Then, that was Medicius, and now Nettles sees the creature on the ceiling and throws her spear at it. So she gets 5 dice with that spear. Ooh, wow. Oh wait, she goes after. So hold on, we'll keep that roll. But unfortunately, this was Clestor, and he whips. He has a short bow, and he has some daggers and 2 short swords, but he had his 2 short swords in his hand, so unfortunately he is not able to attack. But what instead he's going to do is he's going to make a double move, get over here in the corner, and get away from the creature that was on top of the ceiling and was about to attack him. So then this creature drops and sends web at her. And it gets 6 dice with its web to try to ensnare her. And it gets, so it gets 4 successes after rolling that die there. And Nettles has a 2 armor. So actually it ensnared her, but now she gets to make a DL3 agility resistance roll. And remember, her agility resistance is 3. Now I know I messed that up back when I was creating a character. I have since changed it. And she needs to make a DL3 to avoid that. And she does easily. So she moves off to the right here, and the webbing just kind of splats down here, and that's it for that. The other creature drops from the ceiling and attacks Medicius, and gets 4 dice with a bite. But since he's attacking from behind in this case, I'll give him an extra die. And so that is 5. And Medicius has an armor of 3. So he only takes 2 damage. But he has to make a save, strength resistance save, DL2, or else take additional poison damage. But he has a 5 strength resistance. And right now, oh, he made it. He made it. Oh, but barely made it. So anyway, he does not take any further poison damage, but there we are. All right, and now Nettles had 3 exploding dice and 2 hits with that spear. So she chucks it at this guy here. And so that's 3. So that was 5 successes and 3 exploding dice. And that's 2 more. So that's a total of 7. And they have chitin, skinish kind of stuff. So that is 2 off. So it takes 5 damage. And it does not like that at all. All right. But but her spear is now on the ground. Okay, it is initiative time. And Medicius goes before, Clestor goes before, and Clandor goes before, Nettles also goes before. So they now all go before these creatures. All right, so let's do, Medicius spins around with his battle axe and attacks the guy behind him. And he goes with 8 dice with his battle axe. And he gets 6 successes and 2 exploding dice for a total of 8 successes. Can't ask for better than that, I suppose. And that's 6 damage to this guy, and that guy's still up. Clandor stands up and pops a healing berry into his mouth and is healed 3 more stamina. That's it for him. Then Nettles, quick as she can, whips out her short bow and fires off an arrow at her opponent. 4 dice with that short bow. She gets an exploding die, and she does 2 damage. Because 4 successes, armor 2s, she does 2 damage to him. Still not enough to drop him, but it's definitely a hit. And then Clestor, he is too far away, and he's not taking out his short bow. So he is going to... Ooh, this guy, though. Even with getting over the rough terrain, he's able to get this guy and attack an engaged opponent. So that will be awesome. So he gets, normally with his swords, both of them can combine, he gets 6 dice. But then add 3 more for an engaged opponent. Pardon me. And he gets that many. Oh, not the best roll. So he does 4 damage. And that is 2 after the armor. So, but that is enough. That's enough to finish him off. And he drops down dead. And, okay, so this creature is not taking any more of that and scuttles out the door and runs away. He knows when the fight is up. Shall we pursue? No. We must see to Clandor. He's injured. Yeah. All right. Let me use my healing stone. And he activates his healing stone by saying the name of the god Palin, and he heals 6, which puts him pretty close. It puts him to full. His wounds have now closed. That was scary. I don't know about that. They ran pretty fast. Yeah, but whew. Anyway, let's give a good thorough search of this room, says Clestor. So they look up and there's a bunch of web up there. So Clestor's like, I got an idea. And so he lights a torch out of his pack and throws it up there, and it burns the webbing up there. And we'll see if there's any treasure that showers to the ground after they burn that webbing. I just had my encounter sheets. Oh, there it is. There. So we roll a d6, and it's a 1, so there's nothing. Except the old desiccated corpse drops to the ground of a what looks like to be a goblin. Slim eating for these things. And they're going to search this, see if there's anything in this. And there is not. So not much going on in this room besides arachnoid guts. All right. Onward, I suppose. So going back to our area map, they are going to back out here, back down here. Now they're going to roll to see which direction they are going to go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So they go this direction. I will give Clustor a chance to detect that secret door just as he passes by for the heck of it. His mind is 2, proficiency 1 because he's a thief, and 1 because he is an elf. And I'll say DL. Since he's not looking for it, it's DL5. And he only gets 4, so he does not sense it as he passes. And there's some rubble on the floor, and they see a couple of statues. And so Medicius is leading. And then Clandor, Clustor, and then Nettles. And they walk between the statues, and the trap is D4 plus PC's level. So they're only first level, so there may or may not be a trap here. We'll see. Now, I know I had my D4 here earlier. Yes, there it is. Okay. And they get a 3, and so 2 to 4 is nothing. So first level dungeon, you don't want to hit them too hard with a nasty, nasty trap. So they make their way through, and I will see once again if Clustor senses that door. And he does not. So they make their way down this hall. Let's see where this goes. All right, so we'll just say it goes underneath this one here. Let's see if he notices this one. He does not. So you turn the corner. There's a door here. They listen at it. They don't hear anything. They go in, just some stuff. We'll see if Clustor notices the secret door. And he needed a 5, and he does not get it. And so if he were actually searching, me, a different story. But this is just passing by, so it's DL5. All right, so they don't find anything in this room. Then they go here, and it is locked. So, they listen. They don't hear anything because there's no indication of a monster from my perspective. But that lock is hard, so that's a DL4 to open. Cluster's like, all right, dwarf, my turn to try this lock. Okay, good luck. And so he, just let me know when you need me to step in, boy. Don't call me boy, I'm an elf. Oh, whatever, elf. I'm older than you are. So he gets his agility. He gets his proficiency. He gets +2 for a thievery roll. And this is a DL4 lock. And he gets it easily. Click. There you go, dwarf. All right, Medicius. So Medicius knocks in the door. They enter the room. There's crates. There's coins just laying around the floor, but there is a chest there as well. So they walk up to the chest, and they're going to, well, first of all, I want to know if there's going to be if there is actually a trap in there or not. So there it is. D8 plus dungeon level. Technically, dungeon level 3, I think. So 8. So there's going to be a scroll in here. Ooh, that's exciting. And some gold, if they can get it open. All right, so we'll say that the treasure chest has a hard lock, just like the one here. And since I know there's no traps, I'll just say they check for traps. And if they found them or not, it's irrelevant. If there had been the poison needle trap that got rolled, like it is on this card, then I would have had them check. But they checked and didn't find anything. Anyway, so he has to unlock it. So Clustor's on a roll, so he's going to do it. So he is first, DL4. And so far, he only has 3, but he does have an exploding die. Oh, no, he is unable to unlock it. Ha! Stand aside, pointy ears. And now Clandor is going to try. I'm going to win back my 5 gold. And so... No, that was my 5 gold. Yeah, whatever. And so he is pretty much the same on the roll. So he needs a DL4. And he gets 3 and does not open it. My turn. First one to open it pays the other 5 gold. And so here they go. Woo! Got it. Click. Take that. Now, according to Axbane's Deck of Any Dungeons, I'm going to use it here. It's 2d6 times 10 gold. 40 gold pieces, so they record that. And then they also find a magic scroll. Now, they do not have a wizard in the party, but they're going to take it to be able to sell it. And if it becomes important, I'll decide what's on it later. Now, they don't have any other way around here. So they go back out here, and now they're going to go down this hallway here. And if they need to come back to this area for some reason, I'll have it ready. But for now, they come down here, and we'll see what's at the end of this hall. Wow, this place is a maze. All right, so they listen at that door. There's nothing. They open it. They see a bed and a table. Hasn't been disturbed in a while. And then this door, it is indicated that there is a monster. So let's see what we get. 53. Okay, that makes sense, actually. All right, so okay. You have everything set up, and yet you get betrayed by yourself. I have betrayed myself. Nope, there we are. Good. I have not betrayed myself. All right, so they're going to listen at the door. I would say these things, I'm going to say at this point they're not going to make any noise. So they go ahead and listen. They don't hear anything. The door's not locked. They open it, and in this room, are some crates and stuff up against the wall over here. And there's some bags and stuff. It's like a storeroom. But laying around on the floor are 4 skeletons just laying on the floor. And they're coming in from this direction. So Odysseus enters. As soon as he enters, clatter, 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 clatter. And here they come. The skeletons animate. And it is on. So they're out in the hall. They open the door. And here come the critters. Well, not really critters. They're undead, I guess. Yeah. All right. And so it is initiative. Woo. All right, good. So Clandor is going before the creatures. Odysseus after. Nettles after. And Clestor. Man, no successes. He's going after as well. That's not great. So Clandor. Now remember, skeletons, if they're attacked with slashing weapons, minus 3d to the attack. I gotta remember that because I forgot it the one time last time I had fought skeletons. But I will not forget again. All right, so minus 3d slashing. But he's gonna do it anyway. Comes in and attacks this guy. So he has 6 dice with his Warhammer, but that's knocked down to 3 because he's attacking a skeleton. And he gets an exploding die. And so he does 1 damage because they have armor 2. He does 1 damage to a skeleton. So that one is that. All right. And then that's it. And then the rest, everybody else gets to attack. These 2 skeletons move on Clandor and attack. They get 4 dice each, I believe, with their weapons. Oof. All right, so 3 damage from this guy and 1 damage from this guy for a total of 4 damage to Clandor. All right, these 2 move on Odysseus. And 1 misses completely. The other one, he does 5 successes, which minus his 3 armor actually is 2 damage to Odysseus. Okay. Now. So the monsters are out of the way. Now Odysseus, he's gonna going to slash at one of them with 5 dice, because he normally gets 8 with his battle axe, but -3 because it's a slashing weapon. So it's 2 exploding dice. And another exploding die. And another exploding die. And there you go. So that is 3, 6, 8, 9. 9 -2 is 7. That is more than enough to shatter the bones of that skeleton. All right. And he kind of shifts 5 feet that way to leave the door open for Klestor, who goes over to help his buddy. He's going to attack this skeleton that he attacked before. And he gets +3 dice, but that dice will be negated by the fact that he has slashing weapons. Actually, they're short swords. I guess short swords technically are piercing weapons. If that's the case, it's -4. It just says slashing and arrows and bolts -4. I'll say they can be slash or pointy. So we'll just go. He's got his 6 dice then. Normally you'd have 9 because he's attacking an engaged ally or engaged opponent, but there we go. So 3, 6, 7 -2 is 5, and that's just enough to take down the one that was injured before, which leaves us with 2 skeletons remaining, and Nettles comes in to help the boys. So she has her spear, which is literally piercing, so that's, but you can use it like a staff. So we'll just do that. We'll have her use the end of the butt of her spear like a staff and pound at the skeleton. So she takes no penalty at all, and she gets 5 dice with that spear. And she gets okay, so that's 4 successes. -2 is 2. Not enough to take it down, but she's definitely taken out a bone or 2 here. And that brings us to initiative. All right, so Nettles goes before, Clandor before, man, Medicius after, and Klestor before. All right, so Klestor is going to attack. He's going to move around here and attack. Once again, he gets 6 dice instead of 9 because it is a skeleton. And he gets 3 successes, so it's only 1 damage to the skeleton. Then Clandor. Clandor gets 6 with his battle axe, but 3 more because engaged ally, so basically he's at 6 as well. That's only 2. He misses, deals no damage. Oh, that was Clandor. I rolled the wrong dice, but that was definitely his attack. And then Nettles is going to use that same technique she used before, and she gets 3 successes, which after the armor is 1 more damage. Still not enough to take down this skeleton. All right. And the skeleton's attack. So that skeleton, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is going to randomly determine. It's going to go after Klestor. So 4 dice on Klestor. And gets an exploding die. And that is 3, 5. He only has an armor of 1, so he takes 4 damage. Ouch. And then the other one on Medicius gets an exploding die, and that's 4. Medicius has a 3 armor, so that is 1 damage to Medicius. Okay, so now it's Medicius' turn. And like we said, he gets 6 dice with that battle axe. However, that brings it down. Oh no, he gets 8 dice, which brings it down to 5 dice with his battle axe. Oh my goodness. He does not like skeletons. Wow. Okay, cool. So that is 2, 4, 6, 7 damage. Or 7 successes, -2 is 5 damage. Not enough to take it down, but it is rattled, literally. All right, that brings us to initiative. And Klestor is going before. Clandor's going before. Odysseus after. Nettles after. Okay, 50-50 split there. All right, so Clestor is going to strike first. 6 dice. And. So that is 6 successes. -2 is 4. That's more than enough to take down this guy. Clandor runs over and attacks this one. Now, normally, he would get 9 dice, but instead, he is going to only get 6 because of the skeletons. Well, that's not too bad. So that is 3, 4, 5, and that is more than enough to take down that skeleton. All right, let's see if they have any treasure. Ooh, looks like they might. So... So on a roll of 5, we get that much. $2d6 times 2d6 gold scattered throughout this room. So that is 8, 4, 12. Or 8 times 4 is 32 gold floating around. So they get that together nicely. Okay, so, well, I think it's time to take a short breather here, a little rest. Yes, close the door. So they close the door, and gonna eat their berries. Odysseus eats one of his berries, which brings him to that. And then Clandor uses, looks like his final healing stone charge to heal his wounds. That's 7. So he's back to full. And then Clestor is going to eat his berry, which will take him up to that. So all pretty good there. All right, so they're going to take a short breather, and then when we are in the next episode, they're going to head out that door and head down this hall and see what they can see. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying this as much as I am. I love a good old-fashioned dungeon crawl. I'm really enjoying the randomness of it. Little surprises here and there around the corner. So thank you for watching. Till next time, keep on rolling dice and playing games. Mage Hammer out.